Tulliver's Tunnel. Tulliver lived with his mother on the edge of a wood. Their home was a cozy burrow lined with moss. And they spelled cozy with an S, so must be a British book. He was a happy rabbit, except for one thing. His mother made him wash his face twice a day. Once in the morning and once in the evening before bedtime. "I hate washing my face," Tulliver shouted every morning, and his mother handed him a damp cloth. "Why must I be clean?" he whimpered every evening as his mother rubbed a sponge over his whiskers. One morning, Tulliver decided he'd had enough. "I'm leaving home," he announced. "I'm old enough to lead my own life." "Where will you live?" his mother asked sadly. Tulliver pointed to an enormous tree at the other end of the field. "Over there by that big oak," he said. "No hard feelings, but no clean faces either." And he kissed his mother goodbye. So Tulliver bounded over to the other side of the field. He felt as free as thistledown. On the way, he bumped into a young squirrel. "Where are you going?" asked the squirrel. "I'm going to find a new place to live," Tulliver replied. "Come and climb my tree," said the squirrel. "There are beech nuts growing in it. We could have a feast." "I'm busy today," said Tulliver. "I'll try your beech nuts tomorrow." Halfway across the field, Tulliver met a group of young rabbits who asked him to play hide and seek with them. Then he saw a butterfly and couldn't resist a chase. By the time Tulliver reached the big oak on the other side of the field, the sun was already high overhead. Tulliver started to dig with his strong hind legs. He dug and burrowed and tunneled, throwing earth up in the air. The earth landed in a heap, and the heap got bigger and bigger. By lunchtime, Tulliver's tunnel was already deep beneath the field. By mid-afternoon, he was getting tired. When he peeped out for a breath of air, he could see his mother sitting under the beech tree. She looked far away and a little bit lonely on the other end of the field. By supper time, Tulliver was feeling very hungry. As he sat thinking about all the things he'd like to eat, a badger's head popped out of the ground. "Don't you let your tunnel run into mine," he said crossly. "You're getting too close for my liking. Keep your burrowing to yourself, please." Tulliver went down the tunnel and started digging in the other way. He didn't want to bump into a bad-tempered badger in the dark. By nighttime, Tulliver was feeling very sorry for himself. His fur was muddy from hours of digging. Tulliver looked at the pile of earth he had made. It was enormous. He'd worked all day. Yet, he still hadn't found a place that felt like home. Tulliver's paws were sore and his teeth ached from chewing through roots that had gotten in his way. He would have to sleep in the tunnel just as it was. He crept back into his tunnel and lay down on the earth floor. Tulliver thought he smelled the faint, sweet smell of parsnips. Then he fell fast asleep. In the morning, he woke up feeling much better. He seemed to be in a big, airy den. There was a delicious smell of fresh cow parsley. He opened his eyes, and there was his mother, busy getting breakfast. Tulliver had tunneled right back into his own burrow. "Welcome home," said his mother cheerfully, giving him a hug. "I see you have found your front door. You have your own front door now." What's for breakfast? He asked. I'm starving. Cow parsley and carrots, said his mother. But Tulliver, you're muddy. No breakfast until you're washed. Tulliver looked down at his paws. They were covered with mud from all that digging. Out of the corner of his eye, he caught sight of one dirty whisker. Yes, mother, said Tulliver, and he went off to wash his face and paws in a few drops of morning dew. Eating his scrumptious breakfast, he decided it was well worth a few clean whiskers. Tulliver was glad to be home.